free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
You're killing me, Smalls. On this episode of the Couch Brotato Podcast, we're heading back to the summer of '62 to revisit the timeless coming-of-age classic, The Sandlot. Join us as we talk about the film's unforgettable characters, iconic quotes, and all the baseball, fireworks, and childhood adventures that made this movie a staple of every 90s kids VHS collection. So grab your glove, lace up your PF Flyers, and get ready to play ball right now on the Couch Brotato Podcast.
I want you to make some friends this summer.
They were 9 great kids having one great summer. They'll become friends.
Just stand there and stick your glove out in the air. I'll take care of it.
They'll become a team.
Oh, yeah, all right.
And one of them,
You're the best.
will become a legend. The Sandlot, rated PG.
Hello and welcome back to an all-new episode of the Couch Brotato Podcast, the podcast where friends talk about their favorite movies. My name is Russ, and normally in the co-pilot's chair is Adam, but unfortunately Adam was not able to join us this week, so hopefully he'll be back next week. So I scoured the earth, try to find a solid tag team partner for this particular episode, somebody that I knew I could count on. And lo and behold, I found that person in my very own house. My son, Jack, is joining us on the show today. Jack, how's it going, my friend?
It's been pretty good. It's been a while since I've been on here, so it's good to finally hop on again.
Yeah, it's been, I believe when we did Terrifier.
I think so, yeah.
That was last time. Now, this movie that we're doing today, you've been bugging me for the last 3 or 4 months to do this one.
Yeah.
And finally, I think that the stars aligned. We were able to do it, and it's perfect timing considering the 4th of July is coming up next weekend. So, 4th of July, synonymous with cookouts, fireworks, and baseball. So today we're doing The Sandlot. So, first question I have for you, young man, is why were you so insistent on us doing this movie?
Well, because I thought in the 4th of July spirit, and this movie takes around time where it's 4th of July, and it's near that time, so I thought it'd be a good time to do this movie.
Okay, what is it about this movie that you enjoy so much? Because I know you haven't seen, a ton of baseball movies, but I know the ones that you have. This one seems to be your particular favorite. So, why do you love this movie so much?
It's because I love to see how the characters develop over time towards Smalls. Because at the start, he's just a frail, quiet person, but at the end, everybody loves him, and he's just a outstanding human in this movie.
Is it the baseball that appeals to you, or is it, since you're, 14 now, you're in middle school getting ready to go to high school, or is it, the movie that, I think it does a very good job of portraying friendship with kids of your age. Because Smalls is kind of an outcast. He moves to a new town 2 weeks before school ends. His mom even encourages him to go find friends to go get dirty, get in a little bit of trouble. And then he eventually finds out with this group of kids that he plays baseball with. And it really seems that at first they kind of give him a little rough way to go. But Benny, the main character of the movie, well, I guess the co-main character of the movie, seems to really he sees something in Smalls that he really likes. And eventually Smalls, throughout the movie, ends up becoming a part of the gang. Is that what really appeals to you? Is that how friendship still kind of works in 2025?
There's some certain points of friendship, but mainly, yeah. Because
it's trying to be accepted and find a group that accepts you for who you are.
Yeah, it's just you're into a new group, you don't know a lot of people, but there's that one person that helps you introduce yourself to those people and bring yourself into that group and be involved in it.
Okay. So are you kind of like the Benny the Jet Rodriguez of your friend group?
I'd say, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're kind of like the head honcho, the leader.
I wouldn't say I'm the leader. I would say I'm the co-host because my other friend, his name is Holden. I think he's the leader because he likes to bring people in.
Okay, so you'd be more like Hamilton Porter.
I'd say so.
Okay. I know for me, when I first seen this movie, I was super late getting to this movie. I don't think I seen this one until probably 6 years after it come out. Because at the time, I was working at a video store, and I explained it many times on the show before. There was a criteria where we can only play movies up to PG. Like now, sometimes I'd make my boss a little mad, and I'd maybe put on a PG-13 movie when it was late and we hadn't had anybody come in for a while. But I decided one day to pop in the Sandlot, and I just fell in love with it. It's a really cool time capsule of the 1960s, and plus, like, we were talking, like, it really encapsulates friendship, and it strikes back to me because when I was a kid, me and my friends used to do the same thing these kids did. We would try to gather up kids to play baseball at some random field in the neighborhood. And a lot of times we wouldn't have enough players to play like a game, but we would do what we call home run derby, where we'd each take a hit, try to hit as many home runs as we could. And sometimes we'd get lucky enough to find like enough kids to actually play a game. So that's kind of like what appealed to me too, is like it kind of took me back to my childhood as well. But for you, was this one of the ones that I introduced you to during the pandemic when we were going through this run of I've shown you all these movies that I liked growing up?
I think so, because I remember I think it was January, just start of the pandemic. I was out of school, and you were home because I think Evie was sick, and we were just watching movies. And I remember you showing me this one, and then as soon as it ended, I fell in love with this movie, and I have ever since. It's one of my favorite sports movies I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of sports movies in my time.
Yeah, you have. I mean, I have too. So, but yeah, I mean, this one here, like, we'll get into this later about like whether it's like in the baseball movie Hall of Fame, but yeah, I just find it still holds up. Like watching it over the last couple of days, it still holds up. I think you can put this movie on somebody's TV or however people watch TV 50, 60 years from now, and it'd still resonate just the same as it did in 1993 and as it does 2025.
Yeah, most definitely, because if you're an older person and you remember watching this as a kid or a teenager or whenever, I feel like it brings back memories when either like your grandpa or your dad or a figure in your life used to watch this. I feel like it brings back memories.
You know what's funny about this is this movie, when it takes place, I believe, in 1962 or 63. It was released in 1993. And I think now, from the time it was released to now, is longer than it was, like, the gap between the movie when it takes place and when it was released in theaters.
That's a crazy...
And that makes me feel old.
That makes me feel very young.
Well, hey, you know what? Let's you want to get into some categories?
Let's do it.
It seems like this is the part of the show that you really like.
Oh yeah,
categories.
That's my favorite part.
Well, in case you're wondering what in the F the Sandlot is about, when Scotty Smalls moves to a new neighborhood, he manages to make friends with a group of kids who play baseball at the Sandlot. Together, they go on a series of funny and touching adventures. The boys run into trouble when Smalls borrows a ball from his stepdad that gets hit over the fence. And we'll get into the significance of that ball here at some point. But yeah, if you're wondering what the Sandlot's about, that's pretty much it. I think I summed it up okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sum up. I'd say so.
The tale of the tape, The Sandlot, is rated PG, was released on April the 7th, 1993. This stars Tom Geary, Mike Vitar, Karen Allen, Dennis Leary, and James Earl Jones. This was directed by David Mickey Evans, who's also the narrator of the movie. That's his voice you hear narrating some of the story.
Is that the narrator of Smalls?
He plays the voice of Adult Smalls. We'll get into that here in a minute.
Yeah.
The Rotten Tomatoes score is 66% from critics, 89% from audiences. The consensus, it may be shamelessly derivative and overly nostalgic, but The Sandlot is nevertheless a genuinely sweet and funny coming-of-age adventure. The box office grossed $34.3 million on a $7 million budget, although I'm probably going to take a wild stab. This movie's made a ton more on home video and subsequent like TV releases, because I know it was on TV constantly when I was a kid. So, well, not when I was a kid, when I was younger. It's hard to believe I'm 46. So, this movie didn't win any awards, and right now you can currently stream this on Disney Plus.
That's it.
Yeah, so after the podcast, or before, however you choose to do it, fire up Disney Plus. You can watch The Sandlot right there at your fingertips. Did you know? These are some fun facts and some tidbits about the behind-the-scenes production of The Sandlot. This movie spawned 2 direct-to-DVD sequels, which, Jack, I don't know if you're familiar with this term, but direct-to-DVD was when they would make movies, but instead of putting them out in movie theaters, they would go from production right to where you can go buy or rent them in a video store.
Well, actually, I didn't know that. That's a very interesting fact that I didn't know.
Yeah. The Sandlot 2 was released in 2005, and 2007 gave us the classic The Sandlot Heading Home. I've never seen either one of them.
I haven't either, but I've heard they're not very good.
I'm sure they're probably not. Sandlot Heading Home stars Luke Perry, who you might know better as the wrestler Jungle Boy's dad.
Yep, I know who that is.
The original title of this movie was going to be called The Boys of Summer. It was changed to avoid a lawsuit by author Roger Kahn, who wrote a book with the same name back in 1972, which I'm willing to bet probably did not involve a group of teenage kids playing baseball in the summer of the 1960s.
Definitely not.
Writer and director David Mickey Evans is the narrator of the film. The actor that plays him, though, is Arliss Howard, who was in Full Metal Jacket as Matthew Modine's friend. That's a movie a little older, you can watch Full Metal Jacket. That movie's might be a bit too much for a young man, a developing young man.
Not fair.
Did you know at one point Robin Williams was considered to be the narrator of the movie? They really didn't go into specifics on why that didn't happen, but
I think that would have been a pretty good choice for Robin Williams.
Oh, Robin Williams would have been an awesome narrator for this movie, although I would have been a little afraid he would have tried to Robin Williams up the narration a little bit, where he kind of gets a little zany and off course. But now the chewing tobacco scene where they chew the tobacco at the carnival, do you think they were chewing real tobacco?
I mean, after the carousel, I think.
I mean, like it's supposed to be real tobacco in the movie, but like filming it, do you think they let those kids chew real tobacco?
Oh, definitely not.
You know what it was made out of?
What?
Licorice and bacon bits.
Ugh.
I guess the amount of takes they did, the kids that eventually did get sick from having so much of it.
I don't know why somebody would eat black licorice, but mixing that with bacon bits, that's like 10 times worse.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of black licorice either.
I hate it, but bacon bits are good. I would eat them straight up.
But not together.
No.
That sounds gross.
Definitely not.
And researching this, they gave us some examples of like what they made the vomit out of.
What they make it out of?
It was like pea soup and...
Ugh.
Yeah. A couple other things.
Who knows what was in there? They could have put raccoon pee in there for all
I will tell you right now, raccoon urine was not part of the concoction.
I would hope not, because that would be just straight up nasty.
Did you know that the adult version of Benny the Jet Rodriguez was played by Mike Vitar's older brother, Pablo?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. He apparently, I didn't see when, but he died
Oh,
it was about 8 or 10 years after this movie came out. The film was shot in 42 days, which is kind of a very quick shoot. I guess apparently during the filming, it was like super hot on set. And, the only day of the entire shoot that was cold was the day they filmed the pool scene.
yeah, where a certain scene happens, which we will discuss later on.
Well, I didn't know it until I watched it again the other night, but you could see Squints. He's like, his teeth are chattering
Yeah.
as he's in the pool because it's so cold. Speaking of Squints, in 1998, Michael Polidorus sued 20th Century Fox and the producers of the film for defamation. Polidorus, a childhood classmate of David Mickey Evans, the writer and director of the film, claimed that the character of Michael Squints Polidorus was derogatory and caused him shame and humiliation.
Oh,
The trial found in favor of the filmmaker, so he didn't get anything out of it.
what a worthless trial.
He tried. He shot his shot. All the Sandlot kids were wearing PF Flyers or Converse Chuck Taylors during production. In the 1960s, the PF Flyers are kind of like the Jordans of the 1960s.
Yeah, and then during that, the Converse were really popular.
I think they still make PF Flyers. I think they're owned by New Balance now.
I'm pretty sure they are.
And then the last one I got is this is the second baseball movie that stars James Earl Jones and Art LaFleur. They previously starred in a little baseball movie from 1989 called Field of Dreams.
I've seen that movie before.
Oh, Field of Dreams would be... That's top 3 baseball movie for me.
See, mine is the one, it's obviously Sandlot's number 1, Field of Dreams would be 2, and then probably Major League would be 3.
Mine's Major League, Field of Dreams, and Moneyball.
I've never seen Moneyball.
Oh, we'll have to watch it sometime, and we'll do a reaction podcast.
Let's do it.
So that's all I got for the did you know part. Adam normally chips in with some, but honestly, like when I was researching this, there wasn't a lot to really get into. Like there wasn't a lot of behind the scenes dirt, or I wanted this kid or that kid to play a character instead. This really wasn't a whole lot. I think the fact that the movie shot so quickly too was kind of a contributing factor in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty carefree and light filming schedule probably contributed to that. So now I'm curious to find out some of your favorite parts of this movie. So the Martin Scorsese Award for the best scene of the movie. What was yours?
My favorite scene was when Squints fakes to drown, and because he wants to kiss Wendy Peppercorn so bad, he goes down into the deep end, dives off that diving board, and he gets his wish.
Yeah, that's a scene that doesn't really... It might be frowned upon in today's age because he's kind of forced himself on a young lady that's not really willing to make out with him.
Yeah. But I also do have an honorable mention.
What's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is when it's during the 4th of July and then they go out and play baseball during...
That's a very cool scene.
That is a very cool scene. I really enjoyed that one.
That, to me, that encapsulates everything like from that time frame. Like baseball was like the sport of the 1960s for sure. It's 4th of July, everybody's celebrating America, and the fact they are playing baseball under the fireworks lights, that's such a cool scene.
Yeah, it's really, if you ever watch it, I'd suggest taking that scene and that accountability.
Yeah. My favorite scene of the movie is where the kids that play on the baseball team ride up on the bikes and the kid and Ham are just talking shit to one another.
Oh yeah, that one's...
Then they set up the game and the Sandlot kids just beat the brakes off of the actual, like, the little league team.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny. If I didn't like the 4th of July game, that would probably be my honorable mention.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, that scene cracks me up because when you're that age and somebody tells you play a certain sport like a girl, it's like back when you were like my age, things have changed now, and like women's athletes are just as good as male athletes in every sport. But at the time, it just, when you're a kid like that, girls were kind of like you're yucky, and you kind of take that as an insult. And then I think it's a good showcase for the actor that plays Ham too. It's like he's talking shit behind the plate. He ends up hitting a home. Doesn't he hit a home run in that?
No. The only time I'm remembering is when he hit a home run and he got clowned by the team.
When he loses the ball.
Yeah, the Babe Ruth one, and then
no, he doesn't hit the Babe Ruth one.
No. It was the regular one because then Smalls ends up going to grab his Babe Ruth ball, and then they end up losing that one.
Yeah. I will also say an honorable mention for me is all the elaborate schemes they did to try to get the ball back, including like they hooked up the vacuum cleaners to try to get it up. Now, I will just say, for point of reference, Smalls got off kind of light, and he got super lucky that he got a better baseball out of that deal.
Oh, yeah.
Than he gave up, but I would have been super pissed off. Of course, I wouldn't have. If I owned a Babe Ruth autographed baseball, I would have made sure there was no possible way you could have gotten a hold of that and went outside and played with it.
Yeah, if I was that parent, I would have it like in a safe with like other valuables, because now that ball is worth
probably
a couple million.
I would have had it encased in glass. I would have had guard dogs surrounding it, surrounded by lasers.
That's going a little bit too far. I mean, the guard dogs I get, but the lasers, like... I bet if I was them, I would have, like you said, glass. I would have the army by it, and I would have a couple tanks in front of it.
Maybe a couple of ninjas in the like hiding in the rafters.
Yeah, just a couple ninjas hiding up in the roof or the ceiling or whatever, wherever it's at.
You know what though? I think I'm going to give the best scene in the movie to the 4th of July game.
Yeah,
because you and I both really like it. You got Ray Charles, an American icon, singing "America the Beautiful," and I just think it's a perfect encapsulation of like everything that's like is great about this movie. It's like all the friends, they love baseball so much it brings them together. They're willing to play it at night. I never had that as a kid. Like when it got dark, that shit got shut down. We weren't playing baseball after that.
Because, like, back then, it wasn't as bad, but now, if you're passed out, like, I'd say 9, 10, things get real shady because of how the world is right now.
Yeah. Well, back when I was younger, like, your grandma didn't really care if we were running the streets. We didn't play baseball because we didn't lose baseballs in the dark.
Yeah, it's because, like, if you're just, like, say you hit one and then you accidentally get hit in the nuts and you don't even see it coming, it's like, yeah, I would never want to play baseball in the dark.
You know, there's a funny story. We were playing a home run derby and I thought I killed your uncle.
No.
I hit him with a line drive, hit him in the head, and I thought I killed him. I kid you not, he was literally knocked out for, like, 15 seconds. Like, he just wasn't coming to. Then he woke up and was just...
Did he have like a concussion or anything?
Oh, he had to have. Oof. I knocked him right the F out. And like I just screamed, like I screamed, thought I killed him. And I just knocked him out. And that was in broad daylight.
Oh gosh.
All right, the Andy Dufresne Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying Award for the best or most quotable line from the movie. I think this one's pretty easy. It's got to be "You're killing me, Smalls."
Yeah, that's what I had, but my honorable mention was this kid's an L7 weenie.
You know, it took me to 2025 to figure out like an L7 weenie. Is he's calling him a square?
Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yeah, well, for you, that's understandable. You've seen this movie a handful of times. I'm a 46-year-old man, and I've seen this movie countless times. That's the first time I caught, like, oh, he's calling him a square.
Like, see, I've seen this movie 5 or 6 times. I never caught on to that.
Yeah. For you, it's forgivable. For me, it's completely unacceptable. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool lines in here, but I think it's got to be your killing me, Smalls. I mean, it's still used to this day.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody does something that's aggravating, chances are you're getting hit with "you're killing me, Smalls." Actually, I said that to a coworker just a few days ago.
I still say it to my friends. So if you've never seen The Sandlot, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard this quote a time or two.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's. I think this movie's pop culture legacy is that quote.
Oh, definitely. That is what the movie is recognized for us, because of that quote. I mean, also because there's also a couple recognizable quotes or scenes that definitely get recognized by people that have seen this movie or never seen this movie. I feel like it gets recognized because of that.
Mm-hmm. The McLovin Award, and normally this is where Adam chimes in with the McLovin quote from Superbad. However, since he's not here, I don't have access to that on my board, so I can't play the clip. So I apologize in advance, but we're doing the best we can here on this show with the limited resources and technology. But that being said, the McLovin Award for the best or scene-stealing performance, who did you have?
I had Squints as my, best supporting character, but my honorable mention, I get a hoot out of this guy. It's, Alan, McLennan, I think you say it, how you pronounce his last name.
See, Squints is okay.
What do you got wrong with Squints? He's trying his hardest trying to get a kiss from Winnie Peppercorn.
But I think, he might be in the movie a little too much, but my nominee is Patrick Renna as Hamilton Ham Porter.
Now, see, I would have to agree with you on that, but like you're saying, I feel like he's in the movie a little bit too much.
Well, the leads are obviously Smalls and Benny.
Yeah.
So those are your lead performances. And, all the kids are in the movie enough to where, they technically maybe shouldn't qualify because they're in most of the movie, whether they're speaking or not, they're still in the movie. But I guess if we're going to eliminate the kids, then I would say it'd have to be James Earl Jones as the
yeah, Mr. Myrtle.
Yeah.
I really like him, or the Babe.
Well, I've got him in another category.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to give this to James Earl Jones then, since it's the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah, if it's
talking baseball.
If it's not a kid, it's definitely James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to him. He was a great actor.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
in real life he hated baseball, but yeah, he was in 3 baseball movies.
See, I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in this. He was in Field of Dreams, and he was in. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I think it was Bingo Long. Was he in that?
Or was it that movie with Oh wait, no, I'm blanking.
You're blanking.
My mind is blanking.
I was really hoping you would have come through. Well, anyways, he was in at least 2 baseball movies. I'm going to feel horrible if I find out he was in another one.
He was actually in The Field of Dreams, The Sandlot, and the Bingo Long Traveling All-Star.
Yep, that's it. I was right.
And he was actually in another one called Motor Kings.
Oh, well, 4. It's real funny that he was in that many baseball movies and hated the sport.
Yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. That's not a separate movie. That's just the Bingo Long is a really long title.
Yeah, Bingo Long.
Yeah, I'd call it that for short.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're giving it to James Earl Jones.
Yeah, definitely, because he's like one of the most recognizable voice actors, in my opinion, of all time.
Well, that and like out of all the mid-level characters, he's pretty much the only one that's got something to do. Like he's got like he delivers a monologue. Everyone else is like Karen Allen, who plays Smalls' mom. Did you know that she's Marion Ravenwood from Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark? One of the best female characters of all time.
No, I actually did not know that.
And then Dennis Leary, he's the stepdad. He was a famous comic, went on to be a very successful TV actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we got to give it to James Earl Jones.
Most definitely.
All right. The Dean Winters Award for the actor/actress you've probably seen in many movies, but you don't know their name. So my nominee is Art LaFleur as the Babe. This guy, like you probably wouldn't recognize him, but this guy has been in so many movies and television shows as long as I've been alive. He's pretty much the epitome of this category. Like you know the face, you've seen him. Like if you see the face, you've seen him in something.
Yeah.
But he's not big enough to know his name.
Definitely. Mine was either the actor of Ham. I forgot his name. I think it's
Patrick Renna.
Patrick Renna. And then Marty York. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It was the actor of Yeah Yeah. Because like he was in The Sandlot. He was in like you'll recognize him, but because you'll recognize him from The Sandlot because of his voice and stuff, but you'll never recognize him from like other movies.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean that really wouldn't. It would be like somebody you would see in like other things.
Oh yeah.
Now Patrick Renna, on the other hand, you probably because he was in a movie called The Big Green. It's a soccer movie. It was released by Disney. I think it came out like a couple of years after this one, and he was also in. There was a comedian named Pauly Shore had like a little brief run of comedy movies in the early to mid 90s. He played in this movie called Son-in-Law, which is actually out of the Pauly Shore catalog, probably my favorite. But yeah, he was in that one too, and he's been in a few other movies. So I could see Patrick Renna, but I think Art LaFleur's got to be the good. He's got to be the one
that's
here.
what I'm saying. Because I mean, like you'll recognize his name from like movies, and then Patrick Renna, you'll also recognize him from stuff, but you'll never know his name.
Did I ever show you The Replacements? The Keanu Reeves football movie?
I think so, yeah.
Where he plays Shane Falco.
Yeah.
Art LaFleur's the defensive coordinator for the football team.
Oh yeah.
That would be a movie that maybe you would recognize him from, that you may have seen. Which you can listen to The Replacements on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. A little bit late for the cheap plug of the show, 32 minutes in. The Indiana Jones That Belongs in a Museum Award for the prop you most want for your collection. I think you and we were discussing this before we went on the air. I think you and I were pretty much set on what we would take.
Yeah.
It's the Babe Ruth chewed up baseball, right?
Definitely.
I mean, you would instantly know what that. I mean, anybody that's seen this movie would know, like, oh, you got the Babe Ruth baseball.
Yeah, like if you like pulled it out, like say at a collector show, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, you have the chewed up baseball from The Sandlot."
Mm.
Because I feel like, I know this is my opinion, but I don't know if you have the same. But I feel like that's one of the top 5 or 10 most like recognized pieces of sports movie memorabilia in sports movie history.
I don't think it's quite on that level, because if you there's Roy Hobbs's Wonder Boy bat from The Natural would definitely be on that list. You would have Billy Baru. That's the putter from Caddyshack. You would have trying to think what else would be sports memorabilia wise from the movies. That's a good question. I don't know if the Babe Ruth baseball is part of that though.
I mean, it's definitely top 20 though. I mean, you can agree with that.
I could probably give it top 20
because if like somebody,
I mean that I would want. Let me put like Rocky Balboa, either the American like the U.S. flag trunks or like a pair of his boxing gloves would obviously be on that list.
Yeah.
I know there's probably tons I'm missing. I will give you top 20. Because, I mean, like, at least for me personally, like, items that I would want from a sports movie, that would probably be on the list. I would also want one of the Average Joe's jerseys, which I do have somewhere, but it's super small.
I probably couldn't even wear it, to be honest with you. I mean, I might be able to, but probably not.
Oh, you could. It's super big. It's just small on me because I'm fat.
I don't say that.
The John Williams Award for Best Use of Music in the movie. I originally had this magic moment by the Drifters when Squints is able to finally kiss Wendy Peppercorn, because it basically the song, the title's fitting for what happened. Although I'm going to say the Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs, when those punk baseball kids come riding up on the Sandlot talking their trash.
Yeah,
that song's old. Like, I don't know, for like when mischief is either happening or getting ready to go down, that song kind of has that vibe that something like something's going down.
Yeah, something mischievous is about to happen.
Yeah, so I actually want to change my pick. I'm going with that one. What are you going with?
Mine was originally what you said, the Wendy Peppercorn, but I gotta give it to the Ray Charles, America the Beautiful, during the 4th of July.
Yeah, I'm okay giving it to that, because like we said earlier, like it just fits the scene perfectly. It just sets the mood, and I don't think there's a better rendition of that song than the one Ray Charles does.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'm totally okay giving it to that. Since you were last on the show, we've added a couple new categories. One of them being you keep one actor and you replace the rest of them with Muppets. I stole this from the internet.
Okay.
Which I steal everything from the internet. That's what it's there for, is to steal ideas and try to pawn them off as your own, or try to improve them. So you can keep one actor and you got to replace the rest of them with Muppets. Who are you going with?
I'm going the actor, the main character, Smalls.
Oh, Tom Geary?
Yeah. Because I feel like if you replaced him with Muppets, I feel like the movie could still be good because of how, like, he plays his role and is included in the movie. But if it wasn't him, I would have to go the actor of Benny Rodriguez, because I feel like he's the actor that would bring everything together. Because, like, actually in the movie, because he brought Smalls into the group and to play baseball, and that day is just remembered as a day. And yeah,
I look at this category simply for the comedic effect of it. I just try to picture somebody trying to go super serious on this, and they're trying to act around Muppets. Because I think I don't think we did this for the Godzilla episode, but yeah, just somebody trying to like be super serious, and they're trying to act, and then they're trying to act against like a Muppet, like a puppet. I had the same pick as you, just Tom Geary as Smalls is the human, and everyone else is the Muppet.
yeah.
So just imagine like him trying to, like, they're trying to run down like a Muppet Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Yeah, like, they're just like the Muppets are out in the outfield just scrambling for the ball, and then...
Or a better one is when he's trying to learn how to play catch for the first time.
Oh,
he gets drilled in the face by a Muppet.
That'd be funny.
There we go. See, that's the whole point of this category.
Because I feel like if you play around Muppets, I feel like if you're the actual actor, I feel like it would take multiple takes because of how funny it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like what you said, I feel like Tom Geary would be a good main character if there was Muppets acting.
So yeah, I think that's a good call on that one.
I mean, if you didn't say Tom Geary, I'd say the actor Benny Rodriguez.
Oh, Mike Vitar.
Yeah, I just know the characters' names. I don't know the actors' names.
Yeah. The Rolf Saxon Award, also a brand new category here on the show. I don't know if we're going to keep this one.
Oh, you should definitely keep it.
But named after the actor who played William Donahoe in Mission Impossible. I did not know this guy was named Rolf Saxon until Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And Rolf Saxon sounds like the leader of an 80s heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Which just instantly makes it cool to me.
I mean, yeah, if you're a very big fan of heavy metal like you are, I feel like, yeah, it would fit it.
So I don't know if this will fit. We may have to fine tune this a little bit, but this is the best character name. So I went with one Bertram Grover Weeks, who sounds like he would be like the 17th president of the United States.
Yeah, most definitely.
Or somebody who tried to assassinate the 17th president of the United States. Either one would work. Did you have anybody for this?
If we're going off characters, I had Ham because it's...
that is a very fitting nickname for that kid.
Because, I mean, one, it looks, no offense to the bigger people out there, but it looks like he eats a lot, and he's built like Ham.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he eats a lot of ham.
All the kids had cool nicknames.
Yeah, except for Yeah.
That fits him because he says it a lot.
Yeah.
But Benny the Jet Rodriguez, he's super fast.
Smalls, it's because he's really small.
Well, that was his actual last name.
Oh.
And then, Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you had Ham. But, Bertram Grover Weeks has to be the right call.
Yeah.
Because, it just...
That either sounds like a really famous scientist, or it's like an old architect, or like you said, somebody that assassinated a president.
The Hall of Fame award. I had a couple in here. Now, how many baseball movies would you say you've seen?
I would say like 7 or 8.
And what are they?
I only know 4 off the top of my head.
I know you've seen The Sandlot.
Yeah. What's that movie with Shoeless Joe Jackson where he comes out of the cornfield?
That's Field of Dreams.
That's Field of Dreams. I've seen Major League.
You've seen parts of Major League. You've not seen the full thing.
Yeah, because I remember a couple of weeks ago we were watching some of it, and then the others I cannot remember offhand.
Okay. So you may not be the best judge for this one. I had best baseball movies. I would say this does, it might eventually get in, but in terms of cracking the Hall of Fame, I don't think it gets in.
I also think I've seen a little bit of the Bad News Bears. A little bit. I think I've seen that one before, too.
Bad News Bears. You can also listen to the Bad News Bears on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Second cheap plug.
Another one I've also seen is Rookie of the Year. I forgot about that.
Okay, yeah, you've seen Rookie of the Year.
I've seen that movie a lot.
I'm actually, when you were talking about doing this, I'm surprised you didn't ask to do that one.
We could also do that one next. It's just...
Well, I don't want to keep doing like
baseball movies.
I don't want to keep doing kids baseball movies.
Talking about in a future timeline of episodes.
Yeah, I don't want people like, man, is that guy 7? He's done Rookie of the Year, The Sandlot, and Little Big League back to back to back.
Yeah.
Little Big League is actually a very good movie, too. It's about a young man who ends up inheriting the Minnesota Twins from his grandpa after his grandpa dies.
I've never seen that movie. I might have to check it out.
It's good. I liked it. I haven't seen it in a long time, though, so I don't know how good it's aged. Yeah. But The Sandlot, I can't put it as a first ballot Hall of Famer. And actually, now that I think about this, we might have to change the name of this to Mount Rushmore.
If I had to put it in a Hall of Fame, I'd put it in the Hall of Very Good. Because like I said, I don't think it's up there with like Rookie of the Year, Major League, Field of Dreams. I don't feel like it's up there. Because right there, in my opinion, those are some of the best baseball movies.
Well, I'm going to pick 4. It's Major League, it's the Bad News Bears. It's Moneyball. And I would say probably Field of Dreams. Those would be my 4. But, I mean, it's in the Hall of the Very Good.
Yeah. If I had to pick,
it's got a very interesting case.
yeah, most definitely. But if I had to pick 4 for the Hall of Fame or the first ballot, I'd have to pick Bad News Bears, Rookie of the Year, Field of Dreams, and Major League.
Yeah.
Because one, Major League is a very good movie because they were the Indians, but now I'm a Guardians fan because of my dad. And
that movie's the reason why I root for Cleveland baseball is because of that movie. I was corrupted at a very young age. So that would be you as well. I've corrupted you. Now you get to live with disappointment every October. Let me ask you this now. Would it make the kids' sports movie Wing of the Hall of Fame? Now, I would say yes to this.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Because I think the Bad News Bears is a definite, but then you're getting into interesting territory. You've got the Mighty Ducks. You've got Rookie of the Year. You've got Little Big League. You've got Little Giants, which is a football movie. I'm sure there's probably some others that I'm leaving off. I like the Big Green, Bend It Like Beckham, stuff like that. But I think the Sandlot definitely gets into the kids' sports movie Wing of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, yeah.
I think it's got to be Bad News Bears, the Sandlot, and I would probably put in Rookie of the Year.
Or, I mean, you could also put in Angels in the Outfield.
I'd still take Rookie of the Year and the Sandlot over them.
Rookie of the Year is a really good movie.
Have you ever seen Angels in the Outfield?
I'm pretty sure I have. If I did, it was probably when I was a young chap.
Well, it's a family sports movie. It's not a kids, like the kids aren't playing sports. That movie is basically the California Angels.
Yeah.
Which, to tell you something, they used to be called the Los Angeles Angels. No, they were the California Angels. Then they were the Anaheim Angels. And then they were the Los Angeles Angels. So they underwent 3 name changes in like a 30-year time frame.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But Rookie of the Year, Angels in the Outfield, they were called the California Angels at the time.
I know this is like off topic, but another team that is like that is the Washington Commanders. Because they went from the Redskins to the football team to the Commanders.
Yeah.
That's because they did that in like a 2-year time span.
Yeah.
Because if I had to compare that, it would probably be that.
Yeah. It moved around quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we're in agreement so that the Sandlot gets into the kids' sports movie Hall of Fame.
Most definitely.
Gotcha. Final category. What's your Brotato score?
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Any extra thoughts on why you gave it the score that you did?
The reason I gave it a 4 out of 5 is because it used to show how kids used to have fun playing the sport of baseball.
Before you got on them damn video games rotting your brain.
I'll stop it. And it shows you how, like, people brought a kid that was new in and how they became big one, like, group.
It taught you it basically is a movie about friendship and baseball.
Yeah. And chewing tobacco.
Yeah. And I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Why'd you give it that?
It's a really good movie. I think when I go to watch baseball movies, if it's going to be kids, I'm probably going to go to the Bad News Bears first.
See, if I had to watch one kids movie first, it would either be this or the Rookie of the Year.
See, I wouldn't even consider the Bad News Bears a kids movie because there's like that movie was made in the 70s. There's some shit in that movie I wouldn't let. Like this movie's really PG, but they did the PG-13 thing much later.
Yeah.
But I would gravitate towards the Bad News Bears before I took the Sandlot.
I mean, yeah, you can argue with that, but if, like, you're a kid trying to watch a good sports movie, like you said, there's some topics in the Bad News Bears where...
Oh, it's not really that. It's just, the baseball coach is kind of a drunk, a little racist.
Oh.
And then there's a kid actually getting hit by his own father on the mound.
Well, that's not very PG.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think that about does it. Jack, I appreciate you stepping in and
problem.
pinch hitting for Adam on such short notice. Really appreciate it.
Adam, step your game up, man.
Well, Adam couldn't be here because he had a
family issue.
Yeah, family emergency to deal with. That's the only reason he wasn't on here.
Well, this is the Brotato Tot signing out.
Well, thanks for coming on, buddy. I do appreciate it.
No problem.
And that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your social media platform of choice. We have all the links to ours in the show notes below. If you have a brief moment, please, please, please help support the show. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple. You can also leave 5-star reviews on Spotify, but I prefer Apple because you can actually write out a little something nice for us. Lets us know if we're doing a good job or not. So we do appreciate that. So until next time, we will talk to you guys and gals later.
Free audio post-production by unforgettable.com.